Hi, so let's talk about a new era of analytics called Clickbit analytics. So, what is Clickbit analytics? It is basically the touch to open appear on the keyboard or a mouse pad in the laptops to click onto something. So, how analytics can happen on these things? So, basically, it's like we're talking about the Clickbit kind of analytics in which we click on something, we hold on to it onto it something, and at the end there is some information that can be analyzed from these kind of user behavioral patterns, that is click onto something, hold on to something, and the different swipes that we do, the different pointer movements from the mouse pad. So take an example: when you view a story uh, on an Instagram or a WhatsApp or a any other social media platform, if that story is interesting, you hold the story for some time. So you click on a story, you hold on a story, that is a bit amount of time you hold on a story. Also, you repeatedly watch some story, all these information. So a click on a story, a hold on a story, repeatedly watching the same story can help us to understand like and dislikes, can also help to understand the user behavioral pattern. And these kind of analytics, I would like to point it a new term as a clickbait analytics, can help to gain a lot of useful information. So say for example, a user is clicked on a story of a fashion show, and and he hold on to that story for more than a minute, plus he repeatedly watched the same story in a particular day, say 40 to 50 times. So he click on that story, he hold on that story for some amount of time. So what pattern can be analyzed from these things? So what the companies can do is, like, you can analyze the patterns, like, oh, he liked fashion show too much, he's more interested in watching, oh, what he's watching, oh, did he like the accessories, did he like the clothes? So what it can be, like, next day we can recommend that person with some sort of clothes or accessories that we use in that fashion show, or the Instagram accounts of the celebrities or etc. who ramp walked in that fashion show. So this is all about social media clickbait analytics that can be done based on the time. So your time is an important factor. So from the time you click, from the time the amount you hold on to something, this whole counts as a clickbait analytics. So now how about the clickbait analytics on the phone and the laptop? Say for example, if a user opens his phone, the clickbait analytics is basically all the touch and hold and the touch and the swipes and the different touch that happens when the user operates his devices. Okay, so say for example, a user open his screen, it swipes in a certain direction, opens a certain app, and it's on that app for a certain amount of time. So opening an app, that can be directly deduced as soon as the user or anyone click on that app, a background process gets invoked and that app is open up. So that click, so say for example, if a user clicks on a Facebook or any other app constantly, or YouTube. So say for example, user open his phones, swipes right, and swipes and clicks on a particular app. So hold his click analytics, like hold the click pattern, like opening on the home screen, swiping right, and clicking on that app. So this whole click analytics can be analyzed, and if the pattern is repeated like 700 times a day, then it can help to gain an insightful information, like or user like this particular app, he has this particular app he's using the most in his phone. Instead of looking for the idle apps in the phone, uh, and etc. Now, which takes like a particular 10 to 15 days after that, it is said like, oh, user doesn't use this app, it's idle for a long time. This kind of analytics can help us to say that, okay, which apps are used daily by the user and which apps are idle. So we don't require a buffer of 15 days to 20 days to say that this app is not being used by the user for such a long time. Yeah. So this can so in YouTube, if we talk about, or any video streaming platform, so how Clickbit analytics can help in that case also. Say for example, we always record the screen time of the user. So if there are any ads or anything that are coming up, we always have a skip button for that. Instead of that, what we can have, instead of skip button playing the role as a selecting factor that how much amount of time the user watch the ads. So say for example, if the ad is of 2 minutes and the user watches it for 1 minute, so that 1 minute also still counts towards the amount of time given by the user to watch an ad. And if he skips after that 1 minute, okay, no problem. But the user watched it for 1 minute. So what was interesting thing about that ad, that he watched for 1 minute, and before the skipping, so the user always has a chance to skip an ad before. If the ad is of 2 minutes, the user has a chance to skip the ad within point five. So it's a point 0.5 seconds also. Like after point 0.5 seconds or 5 seconds also, there is a chance to skip the ad. But the user watched the ad for 1 minute before skipping the ad. So what was the reason that he watched the ad for a minute and then he skipped later? So this is a click and a bit analytics, which can give a lot of relevant information, and it can help to solve many analytics tasks and understand a user pattern or a user behavior in depth. Thank you so much.